Hi, everybody. Welcome to We're Bored, a weekly podcast on board games. I'm John Chirella.
I'm Victor Riccio.
And I'm James Corrigan.
And welcome to our 8th episode. Congrats, guys.
It's amazing.
Wow.
We're almost at double digits.
Gonna be honest, I didn't think we'd make it this far. No offense to any of you guys, but hey, we're here.
Yeah, I love it. Shout out to the 8 people that are watching us right now.
Yeah. We got some great listeners give us some great recommendations for games that I had no idea existed.
I know, there's so many niche board games out there.
Yeah, but like not even just, in America, but like they're all over the world.
Oh
too,
yeah, definitely.
There are some crazy ones. There's this one from Germany that we got. None of us can pronounce the name, of course, but it's just beyond the realm of comprehension.
Right. Speaking of craziness and beyond the realm of comprehension, so this week, our main topic is going to be the craziest experiences that we had playing board games. The times where we either got lost in the dice, literally, or we had no idea what was going on, or maybe some friendships were ruined. That's where I go. So I'm going to start us off right here. So, the craziest experience that I ever had with a board game was with this one called Diplomacy. Now, this is actually like a fairly famous board game. Yeah, obviously it's not to Monopoly levels, but it was invented in the 50s, and apparently John F. Kennedy and Henry Kissinger were fans. So
really?
Actual diplomats were playing this game. So, the object is, so the board shows pre-World War I Europe and shows maps of England, Germany, Russia, and so on, all the powers. And you're supposed to win the board. But the thing is, though, there's no chance. There's no real tactics. It's all about strategy. So really, it's about negotiation. So between the turns, you actually break off. If you're France, you might have a secret discussion with Germany, and you might, in order to double cross the Russians, or you'll just sit this one out and maybe wait and see who's going to be the winning side. But let me tell you, it takes a long time.
Yeah,
the version that I played was 8 hours.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Could it go longer than that?
Sometimes, yeah, because like you technically have to have a winner, one winner. But anyway, so
sounds like Big Brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I played it once, and it only lasted an hour because we all just got super frustrated with each other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the first time I went into it, I wasn't quite sure of the implications of it. Mm-hmm. So I started out as Britain, which has a lot of naval power, but obviously not a whole lot of armies. And so I had negotiations with people. It started off strong. I had a pretty good alliance with Germany. We just kind of edging around the continent. And about 4 hours later, he betrayed my ass, even though I asked him not to. And
you asked him not to.
I said, I explicitly
so politely,
said, yes,
please don't betray me. You'd think that would get through.
To be honest, I probably wasn't so polite. I was a little bit more profane when it seemed like pretty clear that he was going to backstab me.
Well, you probably gave him the idea to betray you in the first place.
Exactly. But the real kicker about that was I actually had like a little bit longer because one person had to leave, and we just likened it up to a regime change. So I was able to take over France, but it ultimately didn't last long. I got creamed. So I'm. Especially because, there was a little contentious. That was kind of like the second to last nail in the coffin for some of my friends there. So, that is one of the longest, most competitive games that you can find. And, I highly recommend that one if you're up to it.
Do you still talk to your friends, though, after that game?
Most of them.
Okay, good.
Most of them.
That's all that matters, honestly.
And it wasn't because of the games. It didn't help. It didn't help.
It's funny. It's how some of these board games can affect how you see people in your life. My game is Risk.
Always a classic.
Which is similar to Diplomacy. If you haven't played Risk before, first of all, I don't know, you've been living under a rock these past 21 years, but obviously you have armies on specific countries or areas in the world, and you try to attack other countries and with us to
Yeah, they have
to
to be
try
they have to be
and-
adjacent
Yeah.
to one another.
and you try and basically take over the world. And there's ways you could get armies by getting countries and getting continents and whatnot.
And there's a big element of chance to that too, and the fact that it's occurring all over the world. You know,
Yeah.
It's not really a specific story, but it's just the fact that I have never once won a game of Risk against my brother and my father. It is so.
Wow, I got your number.
It is so. It's painful, and it's every time too. The story is every time basically. Every time I would make some sort of a move where it clearly is the wrong move, but who knows? I don't know it. I'm like one of these crazy war-hungry generals or something. I'm just trying to attack. My brother would just laugh at me as I make the move. He would just laugh at me, and then you just know right away that you're absolutely cooked after all this time.
Now you played
me
you
playing-
played the standard version, right?
Yes.
Because there's different versions
Yes,
of
the
Risk.
standard version, the original version with all the countries of the world, sort of a World War II sort of a
my personal
theme.
favorite is the Lord of the Rings one, because that's just the most creative one, you know, and like
There should be a Westeros one.
Ooh,
you know,
that'd be cool.
it's probably coming. I think.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
gotta have it.
Yeah.
But it's just losing that game every time to those people. Not to those people, my family.
Yeah.
Not just the losing, but the fashion of which I lose is so frustrating, so painful, and it happens every time. I never learned from my mistakes once. So
So you're like the Jets playing the Patriots.
you could say that.
Yeah, because I know that's
in a
the-
way.
And you don't learn their strategy or anything during
No,
the
it's well, a lot. Some of it is luck, you know. Always getting the Oceania area is always key. Getting it at first is always key, because then you just pile your armies there and it's like a fortress.
Oh wow.
But I've just never once learned my lesson. And
So-
I could go on
so, yeah,
websites, read books, Risk for Dummies. Not gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, my game is kind of like strategic, like kind of like yours, but it has like a very spooky aspect, I want to say. So the game that I chose for my story is Betrayal at House on the Hill, which is a very plot-based game, I want to say. So it's you and you and 5 of your friends are exploring a haunted house, and you can find items, omens, events, like anything could happen in this house. And if you
It's
get
very elastic.
yeah, very yeah. It's like 3 floors of the house. It's just a crazy place. And if you find enough omens, then the second part of the game begins, which is called the haunt. And the haunt can be one of 50 different scenarios. And one of your friends becomes the betrayer, and the other friends have to try to defeat you. So my game wasn't.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. Well, my story is not really one of like winning or losing. It's more of just like an eeriness, because when my friends and I play, we just get very into it. We play like the instrumental of Scooby Doo. We just try to explore as much as we can and to, like build the plot of our
That's
characters.
great. That's great.
Oh yeah. And like whoever's the betrayer, we just like are so passionate. We like, want our friends to perish in whatever event they can be. And the event could be like a giant octopus in the house, or like a vortex to hell opening and you try to close it. So we were playing this one time, and the scenario was a poltergeist in the house, and we were in my family room, and the event was that we had to get the poltergeist out of the family room. But when we were playing, like stuff was moving in my room, like in the actual house that we were in, and we just got very spooked, and we couldn't even like finish the game because it was just too scary for us. We got too into it. It was so bad.
You know, that's great when the actual environment, you know, actually plays a part in the game
Oh,
itself.
yes,
that's
definitely.
something that's a really underrated aspect of it.
Yeah, it's great when all your friends get really into it. Yeah. Well, I think all three of our games are
so
very
like, you know,
good.
for those
Absolutely.
listening, that was Diplomacy, different versions of Risk, and Betrayal and House on the Hill. So if you got time, go and check them out. Next week, we'll be talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! And whether it actually counts as a board game. We might actually be able to move into card game territory.
Yes.
Yeah.
But anyway, you know, thank you for joining us. This is Word Board. I'm John Chiarella.
I'm Victor Riccio.
And I'm James Corrigan.
All right, stay tuned. See you next week.